Hey, we're back for the last episode of Metroid 2, Return of Samus.
Woo!
And we're doing it in person because there's only one episode left and we weren't able to finish last time, so figured, fuck it. May as well just do it now.
Yep, just get it done and over with.
Yep.
Yep, and just a reminder, we have 3 Metroids in this area, 4 overall left to go. And we already have all the abilities and items, so all that's left is basically just getting to the end of this game.
Yep.
Say, it's a little convenient you're here now, Koji, because this is kind of a preview for LP you might do in the future as well.
Yeah, because I'll most likely be doing the remake for my channel. And by extension, this channel as well, just for a side-by-side comparison to show what the original is like compared to the remake.
Yeah, because this game is definitely an interesting one. Well, I said it you weren't here for, because basically, it definitely structures itself a lot better than the first game, but, well...
There's some trappings that it has compared to the first game that hold it back just as much.
And just like I said earlier too, like this is the game that introduced a lot of things that were used in later games.
Yep, they brought the 2 new beams, the Spacer and Plasma, they're famous. You have the Space Jump get introduced in this game.
The Spider Ball, the shoulder pads for the Various Suit.
Yes, the actual true design we know for the Various-Suit today. And all that's left are Mega Metroids. So, well, there you go. But yep, all that's left are Mega Metroids.
Right.
Like I said last time, each one takes about 30 missiles to kill. And then, well, yep, just kill them with 30 missiles, because every single Metroid in this game can only get hit with missiles.
Yep. Metroid's dying to missiles instead of the Ice Beam.
Yeah, the Ice Beam doesn't even work on them, which is fucking stupid. Like, who the fuck thought of that? I mean, then again, this was the only one that, Yoshio Sakamoto was involved with, originally. As I know he helped out, Gunpei Yokoi at the first one. I guess Yokoi did Super Metroid. And probably
Sakamoto was always there for the entire series, so I don't know if... Was he there for Super Metroid and,
He was not there for Samus Returns.
I know he was...
Or Return of Samus, I meant.
Are you talking about 2?
Yes,
This one,
original Metroid 2, he was not there for. I think this is Gunpei Yokoi. That's why he wanted to remake Metroid 2. He said that was the only one he didn't really get to do himself.
That explains a lot, actually, of his thought process.
Yeah.
Yep. That was why after, you know, Mercury Steam was rejected from doing a Metroid Fusion remake they basically proposed, Sakamoto looked at Castlevania Mirror of Fate that they did. He was like, huh, you know what? These guys had to be good for this idea. Would you guys want to remake the second Metroid game so I can basically tell the story I want to tell leading into Dread or whatever?
And for what it's worth, the remake was better in the long run because it did add context.
Yeah.
And, you know, the modern feeling controls and all that help a lot.
It helped get a better idea for what Dread was going to be, and, you know, gave better story context for what he had planned for the end of the Metroid story, quote-unquote.
At least leading into Super Metroid, since in Metroid 2, there really isn't a whole lot going on. You just go deeper and deeper and just kill Metroids.
Yeah.
And the last thing you get is Baby Metroid, and then it just leads straight into Super Metroid.
Yeah.
There's no mention of space pirates. And they didn't, like I said, space pirates didn't even exist until Super Metroid. That's the first time they properly get to see them in action.
Well,
unless you want to count for Freight.
Aside from Ridley, but even then.
Ridley's the captain of them all, or whatever.
Yeah, they didn't really expand on what Ridley was until Super Metroid.
Yeah. Like you technically say, like, well, the manual's there. Well, guess what? Who reads the fucking manual these days?
Nobody reads the manual. It's a manual.
That's why a lot of games just have like an online manual, or like a manual like within like the console's like systems or whatever.
Yeah. Though I will say I do kind of miss like the old days of manuals and
like actually having a physical manual.
And also I think I was watching Nitro where I talk about a video about this, but you know how like the backs of boxes used to have like a bunch of cool art or whatever,
yeah,
and also like a lot of the cool panels showing what the game is like, and now it's like 20% of it is just those like small panels, and the rest is like all the fucking DLC and online garbage.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say
it's a bygone era. I mean,
Nintendo still respects the box art a little bit, thankfully. They're still relatively good in their box art, but...
I mean, they also have the Nintendo Online stuff where they have, like, alternate box cover stuff, so if you want to print those out for...
That can be kind of neat.
That was also cool. Yeah, for the, My Nintendo.
It's more than I can say for all the other companies. I can't really say
Well,
for PC because, you know,
All the
PC's
other ones
PC.
just want you to buy digital, pretty much.
Yeah.
The physical box is just there so you can basically have some physical thing to then have to download a lot of data on your console anyway.
Which is a dick move, to be fair.
Yeah, which I feel like this is what's gonna happen within like the next 5-7 years. Is that all like physical media is just gonna be completely gone.
In a way, I'm kind of upset about it. At the same time, I'm also...
I think at least CDs
There's a
are
lot
about to be
more.
gone.
CDs are definitely going to be obsolete.
Well, CDs technically were obsolete for at least a good while.
Well, Blu-rays.
I mean, Blu-rays.
Blu-rays, yeah.
CD technology, whatever.
The CD
Like
technology,
disc
yeah.
technology, yeah.
Like, I can see the Switch's cartridges standing around longer than CDs in this point.
Honestly, I will say that I think the cartridges have more potential for longer staying power than CDs because I think, what was it? I was looking at some of the micro SDs for the Switch because I needed to buy another one for my Switch because the other one I had was full on space for a bunch of other games.
Right.
But I looked at the space and I'm just sitting here thinking, like, a disc this small can actually carry a lot of data. Imagine, like, what would happen if they actually, like, pushed that to its breaking point, because I feel like they could do a lot more with that technology.
I mean, Blu-rays right now can hold, like, what, 128 gigs of data or something like that?
Yeah, like, I have an SD card that holds 256.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Switch cartridges right now, like, their standards hold, like, 16, and, like, their advanced carts hold, like, 32, but very few developers want to take advantage of that, because that's where the Switch tax comes in.
Yeah.
It's like extra money on them to produce those carts.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's a little annoying because at this point, it's like Nintendo's at a point where, like, they'll basically send out any game and most people will buy it.
Yeah.
For better and for worse.
I mean, at least their games aren't usually shit.
I mean, they have, like, that's the thing about Nintendo is that they have a lot of genres for a bunch of different, like, they have a bunch of IPs, they have a bunch of different genres, so it's like, if there's something that's not for you, that's fine. There's chances are you're gonna find something, anything for you.
Yeah.
And it's also like they seem to have a bit of quality control, at least with their first party
Yeah,
stuff.
their first party stuff has, like, the highest of quality control. It's ridiculous. And they're also really kind to the indie scene.
Yeah.
Compared to some of the other... I mean, Xbox, I'll say... Well, Xbox, I think their problem is more so that they're good on preservation and actually holding out for all their older games. They just don't have anything new to offer beyond their service.
Hi-Fi Rush, the closest thing we had, that was more Bethesda,
And the problem is, like, I also have... Well, I mean, you could argue, well, technically, Xbox also extends to PC. Not all their games, though.
Yeah, not all of them.
Like, I know Ninja Gaiden, for example, is the biggest one I can think of, where it's like, that game is exclusively on an Xbox console. You can't play those games anywhere else.
Yep. Well, maybe I got Ninja Gaiden Black and Ninja Gaiden 2 on Xbox I bought recently for, like, 8 or 12 bucks.
As long as you make sure that the disc works fine, you got that on a pretty good deal.
I was able to download it, so I'm assuming it works fine.
It should work fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just a different matter. And Sony's just... They have the games. The problem is that their game template is the same template that they've used for a lot of games.
Yeah, they don't get a lot of variety anymore.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel that way.
Yeah. Which, I mean...
And after hearing about, apparently, I heard about the leak, and apparently...
Oh yeah, the Naughty Dog, Insomniac Games leak, that was a big thing that happened, basically.
Yeah, because they got hacked.
Yep, it basically looks like my fears I had were somewhat true. That basically looked like Marvel was going to contract Sony to get Insomniac to make a bunch of Marvel games.
Yeah, and from what I heard as well, Rift Apart didn't do super well because they sold it as a AAA game when it was always really good as a AA raw gameplay third-person shooter
that's
feel.
probably more Sony's fault. Probably selling the price at $70 and only PS5, so fucking...
Yeah.
That definitely hurt it.
And it also didn't help that since so many other games have been slowly coming out on PC, like, I've slowly had less motivation to want to...
Yep. Huh, the L doesn't have a number now.
Huh.
Well, then again, we only have one Metroid left.
Yeah, we should
Yeah,
be fine.
that means we're almost out the game, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
What could go wrong? What could go wrong?
No, like a giant chasm. You can see some of the, like, design similarities between, like, Samus Returns and the original Metroid 2.
Yeah, I can definitely see, like, a lot of the structure there. It's like the structure and the, is all there, it's just, you know...
Oh, recharge. As reminder, you have recharge things, if you can find them. Basically get free missiles and energy back.
But this year, like, for what it's worth, I'll say this much, though, like, this 2023 has been a really kind year to games. In
Yeah,
general.
we finally got out of the COVID fuck, got a lot of good games
Yeah,
out
it's
of it.
like Hi-Fi Rush, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Super Mario Wonder, Tears
Here's
of the
the thing
Kingdom
for
for
those.
anyone who cared about
Yep.
it.
Spider-Man 2 I hear was
Spider-Man here 2 I heard was alright.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate 3, I actually brought that. I'm having that downloaded in the background. Final Fantasy 16 I heard some decent things about.
And apparently the DLC fixes something, so I've also heard it's basically more Final Fantasy 16, but nothing like too much better.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about other games that came out this year as well. Oh yeah, I mean, I didn't hear much success about it, but the Advance Wars remake, I still need to get that at some point. Super Mario RPG remake, speaking of remakes.
Oh yeah, that one was good, yeah. Done by the people who did the remakes for the
Oh yeah,
3DS
Metroid Prime
games.
Oh yeah, Metroid Prime Remastered.
Yep.
That was
Oh
also...
wait, what the fuck?
Wait, 9 Metroids now?
We
God!
got 8 more.
Damn it.
Damn it!
How the fuck did that happen?
Oh,
god.
troublesome.
Well, gotta get some old school Metroid 1 action in here.
Holy, I need to get them in here some point.
The hardest Metroids in the game, the fucking infants, because you actually use the ice beam to kill them, which I did not have.
For some reason, I don't know why it's built like this. I
Yeah.
can't wait till Super Metroid where you can finally get all your beams in one fucking...
Yep.
That's always going to be the one thing about...
Yep, that's the
your
other reason I
original-
picked the Space Beam in particular. I wanted to show off something in particular.
You can't freeze them.
Yep. Because you have this, if you don't have the beams out the ice beam, you basically can't do shit to the infants, because they still need to be frozen, because fucking Metroid 1 rules.
And somehow, even though you took it through the door, like, you were fine and the infant stayed behind.
Yeah.
Metroids, especially the infants, are allergic to doors.
Yeah.
They just... Too bad you can't kill them like the Prime series, but...
Yeah.
They are allergic to doors.
You know the doors are always up to something.
I'm on to your door!
The Prime games actually kill them with the doors. It's beautiful. They'll run to the door and just fucking... just explode. It's wonderful. They really only showed off in 1 or 2.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to show off. Honestly, with 3, it's like, I
Well,
have hyper
The
mode.
Metroids are too different in 3 for it
Yeah.
to really work. For-
Imagine if you could let, like, the Hunter Metroid to die after you go through a door.
Oh...
Yeah.
That would be beautiful, but yep, without the ice beam, you can't do shit.
So, yep, so...
So, you gotta go back out and get the ice beam. It would really suck you to go back to the previous area and get it, though, right?
Yep, it would.
Yeah.
Guess what? That's exactly what you're not gonna have to do, thankfully.
Yeah. I mean, yep, you come down here, you don't have all the Metroids killed, then this is just blocked off, nothing, empty room. Alright, I'm out of here, so I couldn't do anything. May as well go to the... Oh. Destroyed statue, that's perfectly normal.
Yep, nothing can go wrong at all.
But they do have to have a collectible here. Hey, you need this now. So take it.
It's like the game knew.
If you forgot to take it when getting out of the last area, they at least give it to you here. So you know, oh, you couldn't beat them. Here, take this.
That's good.
Man, it's better than what original Metroid 1 did. As soon as you go to Torian and you don't go back to the elevator, you're fucked.
Yep, you're in a dead game.
Yep.
Then again, you can do passwords to get there without Morph Ball.
Why is that a
Metroid
fucking
told me.
thing?
What do I do? Die.
And you wonder why I hate you, Metroid 1 NES.
At least this one's more tolerable, thankfully. So,
I mean, this game in general is a lot better in a lot of places. It's just...
like I said, it definitely feels like it has much better structure to it. Like, the world exploration's not nearly as, like, bad or bland as the first game.
And that's also, like, the double-edged sword of this game. The thing about this game is that it's structured well, it's just that it's too structured for a lot of people. Because it's very much a linear game at its
That's
core.
why people hate Samus Returns, so they're like, oh, it's not like nearly as exploration-heavy having memorable bosses as the other Metroid games. Well, they want to be faithful to Metroid too, so... Yeah, Samus Returns kind of carries its flaws because it tried to be so much like this game. It works in some ways, but definitely variety is not one of those things.
It's like, that's the core of, that's the crux of this game. It has a different philosophy, which as a result carries a bunch of different strengths and weaknesses with it. That's the same reason why Fusion is as... I wouldn't want to call it divisive because it's generally regarded as a high-quality title. It's just that...
It's different enough it, like, works. It structures itself very well.
Yeah.
The pacing is great in game. Its differences it helps it a bit. But yep, you got free Z's in for Metroids, you kill 5 missiles just like Metroid 1. No missile upgrades come around until frickin' Super Metroid, so this is all you're stuck doing.
Did more just come in?
No, there's always... there's one in each of the first 2 rooms, and then 2 in the last 3 rooms.
I think it's like loading it in is what it is.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta get far enough the roof for them to spawn, that's all.
Okay.
You know, like a Kirby enemy. And then you can kill a Kirby enemy, and then you go back from where it spawned, and then go back to it and respawn.
I like to
It's like,
imagine
fuck.
it went from... It counted all the way up from, like, to 99, and then went back to 2 or 3. It's like,
Yep.
you're count... It's like, you could just count down.
Oh yeah, the friggin' Metroid tower just goes berserk as soon as you
Yeah.
kill one anyway. Oh, by the way, you have to kill it with 5 missiles in between freezing it. If you hit it with less than 5 in between freezing it, it basically gathers all its health back.
Oh, that's some shit.
Old school gaming design.
NES games, don't you love them?
Yep.
Oh, we got... Okay, we're back down to 1.
We're down to 1.
And another vibration happened.
Earthquake happened.
And you basically never music, you hear some sort of roaring. Oh boy. What would be the
Behind.
best or worst part of this game, depending on who you ask? The last Metroid, the toughest of them all. It's a big Omega, or it could be a fucking Queen.
Yep.
No, Queen, no! Alright, I'm out of here.
One of the few times you can actually leave a boss fight in video games.
Yep, thankfully, if you run out of missiles fighting that thing, so I will say that thing is a missile sponge. Well, yeah, you can't kill it! You need missiles, like every other Metroid in this game!
Then again, your beam has never been good for much of anything unless it's charged.
Yeah, this game, the beams were only good for clearing obstacles and other little enemies.
Yep. Then again, I'm trying to remember. The charge beam. That wasn't introduced until next game, right?
Yep, not till 3.
Mhm.
Because this game had no charge beam anything. Just had the spacer and the plasma introduced. Still just kept the ice and the wave beam. Work exactly as they did in the first game. And somehow the limitations feel like it helps it a little.
Yeah.
Because of the small screen that made the rooms, like, I don't know, it feels a lot more condensed, so things load better. Whereas on NES, it was fun having to shoot through a room that was basically full of blocks.
Yeah.
And only half of them could go away because that's what the data was like on the NES.
So was it? So wait, was a G-Boy cartridge more powerful than an NES cartridge? I'm actually kind of curious about that. What the technology is behind that.
Yeah, it's weird, the Game Boy technology. I don't actually know for sure.
I don't know what the finer details of it are, but I always wonder about that
I
because
was
I
discussing
know.
with Coda one of the previous episodes. Like I played this on the Switch offline, the Game Boy Color filter on. Like, there's this thing, like the Game Boy Color, they engineered to take a lot of those old Game Boy games that were basically monochrome, and basically added color to them. Like that's pretty fucking impressive. They even like had like things in place to do that.
Then again, they also created their own unique technology to be able to work with their own architecture. So I can imagine, like, I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a lot of hurdles that they had to jump through just to be able to get it to work as
I mean,
intended.
some games, like some of those that work on the Super Game Boy, like Mega Man 5, for example, the colors don't exactly mesh the way they were supposed to, like they were designed with the Super Game Boy.
Then again, I know there's like one particular thing about, I forget what the damn term is called, but it's like pixel interlacing or something like that.
Maybe.
I think that's what it is, where I know Mega Man X suffered pretty heavily from that, along with input lag, which is another reason why the X collection isn't looked as fondly.
Ah.
The input lag's the worst part of it, but it also had like pixel interlacing, where some of the pixels would be kind of off
The
when you
GameCube
look at.
PS2 version, you mean?
No, the modern
Oh, the
collection.
X-Lacing version?
Yeah.
Huh. Huh, you know? I never even really noticed.
Yeah, if you haven't played the original collections, you won't notice it as much, but that's something that I noticed, and also the input lag as well. But if you start off with it, it's not that big of a deal. With the classic games, it's not as big of a deal, since the classic games don't really have as much to work with.
Yeah, there's not as much strain on like modern hardware for
And
classic games.
as for the Zero collection, that one actually held up very well from what I heard. Like, I played it myself, and I think that one's solid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know how Star Force and Battle Network... Oh, I say Star Force. Battle Network. They didn't make Star Force yet.
Yeah, so I think that's the
Other than Legends, those are the only two that are left.
Yeah, those are the only two series that have yet to get a legacy collection.
Yeah.
By the way, here's what happened.
I would love Star Force to get a Legacy Collection game, but that'd be difficult because that is a DS game. And that would require...
I'm showing you basically what happens when somebody fights fucking the Metroid Queen for the first time, probably. They probably just hang out in this corner of the room like a little bitch, just shooting us and nobody eventually...
Here's how you fight the game normally, like a scrub.
Yep. If you shoot it in the mouth, you basically stun it, so you get more missile shots in. You just have to keep shooting in the face. And it gets faster as you go. Yeah, if you don't know the technique for take care of this boss, it takes 150 missiles to kill this fucking thing.
Yeah.
Which is dreadful.
You're almost dead.
Dreadful.
I mean, I had to show a death bomb at some point. That was more what this was, but...
I needed to show what you looked like when you died.
Ooh, you can't walk ahead to get a lot of missile shots in there, though, if you're doing it the old way.
So, what you're saying is you're gonna die at the final boss again.
Not after killing it, though. I don't even get to that
Were
point.
you trying to kill legitimately
I
first?
just de-res.
De-resolution imminent.
Yep. I died in this game. I'm gonna delete this. I'm fucking pissed off now. I'm gonna delete it. I swear I'm kidding.
Oh my god.
Hey, this game also has save points in all versions, not just the Japanese version.
That is also a point for this game, I guess.
For some reason,
Well, I say I guess. I mean, it is a good...
for some reason, the NES version of the original Metroid only worked on passwords.
Well, they give us some creative ones.
Justin Bailey.
And Engage Ridley, motherfucker, which crashes all modern versions or modern ports of the original Metroid.
Which, to be fair, when you actually load that file on the actual NES cartridge for that, it basically might as well be a completely dead game and crash at that point anyway.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Okay, so that's just more an error for the NES hardware. And I guess it's a software thing that happens with every other frickin' thing.
Yeah.
That's a software bug. Oh boy.
Yeah, because you can still technically play it, but it's basically a dead game. Because you have... I think you have all the missiles and E-Tank upgrades. I have to look more into exactly what happens with that one. But Ridley's already dead.
Right.
And you can't advance to Mother Brain.
Oof.
Oh!
Mmm.
Do you have any of your items with you, or do you not have any items?
I'm not sure.
Well, if they locked you in Torian, and you didn't have the Ice Beam or something...
You're in a dead game.
You can't even get the Torian. Ridley's just dead.
Oh.
So it doesn't activate like the statue or anything when you go.
Oh. Okay.
So, ironically, despite the name of the password, you never engage Ridley.
What the fuck? Oh god.
Like if you use that password.
Oh, you will feel that at the end of this game. Now I'll show you how to fight the fucking Queen Metroid the right way.
Why not just call it the Mother Metroid?
I mean, it's close enough. Yeah, how the fuck does the Shoujo create a creature that can evolve like this? What the fuck?
Yeah.
They created a creature that was meant to get rid of some other crazy alien organism. And they created it in such a way it could actually, like, grow and evolve. Like, Shoujo think of, like, gods or something. What the hell? Oh, that's nice. Let me get in there. The fast and smart way to deal with it, which you know if you played the remake, shoot it when its mouth is open, you basically crawl into its mouth and bomb it from the inside, dealing a lot more damage.
Are you required to do that in the remake?
I think so.
Yes. Yes, you are.
They actually emphasized that technique in the remake.
Hey, I kind of knew about this because of Other M.
Well, Other M's a fucking bullshit one.
Except you had to do power bomb, and you didn't even know you could do that.
Yep. The game doesn't fucking tell you the entire time that you're allowed to use a power bomb in that section.
But you can't do no damage run this way. Run forever.
You gotta play the try-hard way. Do 100% without getting hit. Way to do it.
Yep.
Yeah, good for you, buddy.
Oh, you can tell when the Queen Metroid's nearly dead, by the way. When every time you hit with a missile, it basically screeches. And when it's basically head shoots out super fast. And you get a special death animation when you kill it from...
Explosive diarrhea.
Yep, you get a special death animation when you kill it from bombing in the inside. Otherwise, it just dies the way it was when... Oh, now I can't leave.
Sucks for you if you miss the power-up.
Oh, well, they don't care for percentage. They only care about your time.
Yep.
Oh, I can't leave that way either. Son of a bitch.
Well,
Let's go to the end of the game now. Damn it, this sucks. Yep, all the Metroids are dead, so that means I get off this planet, go away peacefully. Except, oh yeah, there's that egg there. I can't smash it. Well, may as well see what it is. And it's...
That's a tough egg shell.
No! Ah, kill it! Kill it! No! Why can't I hit you? Leave me alone! Ah! Why can't I shoot you?
I'm not attacking you.
Huh. Neat.
What the fuck? Leave me alone! I'm not taking my chances! Get away from me! Leave me alone! The bomb, nothing works on it! It's an invincible Metroid! Oh, thanks for getting rid of the blocks. Now leave me alone. And yep, you can't go anywhere still. They even changed the room so the whole freaking tunnel of the bomb disappeared. You come back here after killing the Queen Metroid. And you come back here, and the baby Metroid's still waiting for you. God damn it! I'll get you one of these days. And it's usually one of these blockades. That's basically how you get out of here.
Yep.
But other than just climbing out, that's basically the end of Metroid 2. Basically, us taking the baby Metroid is what will lead into the sequel, Super Metroid, for the Super Nintendo. There's not really much to the sequence, it's really just go on the path.
Yeah, it's just walking out.
Alright, so should we just do our final thoughts here then?
Yeah, I mean, I've been basically saying it from early on this episode, but yeah, I definitely say it's a great improvement over the original Metroid on NES. Like, this one I can at least, like, be willing to come back to. At least it's structured well enough, it doesn't feel like it's really easy to get lost. There's still some arbitrary bullshit. The fact you need missiles for literally every single Metroid with no other workaround is kind of a pain in the ass. But, you know, it's definitely the right steps into what would evolve the series to make it as memorable as it is for some fans today. What eventually Super Metroid would make for the series for those who actually care to look at it. With better power-ups in there, better suit design to be fair.
Being able to shoot diagonally.
Well, you can only shoot up or down in this game. I did never mention that, which is a good thing. What? So at least it's something. The Spider Ball is an interesting power-up as well, but yeah, it's still not really good to go through the world, especially since you still don't have a map in this game.
Yeah.
So they don't do it until Super Metroid, so you know, despite its awkwardness, this is at least one I'm willing to like look at and enjoy because it shows improvement. And well, oh god, the atmosphere hurts! Fuck! Unofficial introduction to Samus' ship, I forgot about that too. But yeah, it was certainly different, and I still think it's basically the black sheep of the Metroid series, unless you want to say it's Other M or, Prime Hunters, maybe?
Yeah, I'd say Prime
In regards to the
Hunters.
core series, I'd say it's still the black sheep of the Metroid series, because it's certainly very different from how the others are supposed to be. But it's still a pretty good exploration-based game. And well, yep. If you want to play this game, play the remake. Same goes for the original Metroid 1. Play the Game Boy Advance remake.
As Samus runs to the camera.
Yep, if you get the worst ending, by the way, she doesn't even run. She just stands there. If you get the worst ending.
Well then.
If you get the second ending, she does this running, but then she'll jump off screen and then basically just stand there afterwards.
Cool.
So why don't you guys give your opinion of this game, I guess?
I mean, like I said before, this is the game that introduced quite a bit of mechanics that are later used in other games. And from the looks of it, it definitely looks like it controls better than the first game. That being said, yeah, the Metroid hunting being the whole core of the game, which, I mean, aside from the obvious aliens parallel, really, it does feel like it's going to be it does feel like it's repetitive after a while, and it's just like you just want to fucking move on.
They need to kill fucking 39 of these fucking things.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. It's a lot of shit.
Although, that is something interesting that you mentioned like during this video, because I didn't even know that there was separate animations for the Queen Metroid dev. I thought it was just for one.
No, it took... Not too many people are aware that you can go inside the fucking Queen Metroid to bomb it.
Well, I thought that was the way I originally thought. I didn't know you could kill just by shooting missiles at it and being 150.
That's how I used to do it, actually.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was painful. It's so really difficult.
Yeah, I thought going into the Summit was the way they intended you to do it.
It shows how dumb I was back when I first played this back like 12 years ago.
Yeah, but that being said, I'm sure you two are more looking forward to the very next game when we return to the series.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe not me nearly as much because I did play, was the next entry much later in life.
Oh, my. And there's your best ending screen, by the way. Again, under 3 hours.
Yep.
Basically, Samus in a scantily clad outfit.
Mm-hmm.
With her hair blowing in space? That shouldn't even work! There's no air in space! Ruined forever!
There's still some time left on the video, looks like.
Yeah, it's just buffering time, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
That all your thoughts?
That's all my thoughts are.
Yeah.
With me, I don't really know if I have much of a say because I haven't really had much exposure to the original game and I haven't really had much motivation to play the original game since most of my experience comes from the remake and my extension with it. I know a little bit enough about Metroid 2 to say that, at least with this game, it did introduce a lot of things that would eventually become staple mainstays, not in the way that they are right now at the moment. But they introduced a lot of new beams and power-ups to explore, which are definitely a welcome addition considering all the garbage that was there in the NES game, which was just... It's definitely a godsend to bring in. A lot of the visual updates are nice. It definitely gives Samus a little bit more identity that she would eventually carry on to the SNES game. The ability to shoot up and down is a godsend, though shooting down seems kind of reductive since, you know...
Yeah, it's only really useful if you're trying to freeze something beneath you or kill an enemy you might be jumping on by mistake.
Yeah. The lack of a map is definitely something that's also felt in this game as well, just as much. Well, actually not nearly as much because to Metroid 2's benefit / detriment, depending on who you ask, it is more linear in structure.
Yeah, it's very
so
segmented.
It's not nearly as easy to lose yourself as it was in NES game, where basically 90% of the corridors look the same, so you're sitting here wondering which way is the way forward, which is always a pain in the ass. But the entire focus of the game is just, you know, killing Metroids, and, you know, for what it's worth, it does its job well, and for a Game Boy game, I can definitely see a lot of merit in this game, on the whole. I guess I'm also just spoiled by the remake because it introduced a lot of stuff and mechanics that just modernizing the game as a whole, so...
Yeah.
I think this is a good history lesson. This is definitely worth looking at least once if you're curious about Metroid 2's origins. More than I can say about Metroid 1 NES.
I even said it during my LP. I would put this above Other M in some respects.
Honestly, I would too.
Because it's the other things in Other M that really drag it down, but
yeah.
At least Metroid 1 sits at the very bottom just because how fucking rough the first game is.
First game syndrome, ladies and gentlemen.
At least this one feels competent. And yeah, it is really funny that about the Game Boy Color thing. That apparently, like, when they were, it's weird. They said like this is happened to be one of the games that adapted best to the Game Boy Color for some reason. Like I don't know how it happened that way, but yeah.
I wonder what if it was one of the first games to actually be experimented with the Super Game Boy intact. Maybe that's why. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
Maybe it was also just a happy accident.
Yeah. I also know that. Actually, I don't know anything. What the fuck am I talking about? I also forgot to mention there are 3 files in there, so that's cool too. You can have
oh yeah,
files.
multiple files. That's nice. Wait, what? I'm trying to remember. The first game only had 1 file, right, in the American version?
Passwords.
Yeah,
Oh, just
password system.
Okay.
It's just straight up the game. At least Metroid 2 onward, every game pretty much had 3 files.
Oh yeah, that's true. The save feature. They finally
Brought
made
it
that
everywhere,
a
instead of
foundation instead of just having
The
it.
NES version, also, well, the Famicom version, I guess Japanese, only had 1 file, I imagine. Until you probably just took you where you left off.
Yeah.
With 30 energy.
That's also another thing I'm glad they ditched in this game because I just want to start my fucking game. I don't want to sit here and have to grind my ass off.
Yep, you reload your save, you start the energy and missiles you were left at. The smart thing to do.
I wonder what caused it to make it so that you're left at 30 energy every time you start.
It was probably some limitation they had set. It was like, oh, it's just like how limitation is for a lot of platforms. Like, oh, you're starting the game again. We don't know how many lives you had last time. You start with 5 now. Fuck. I had 50 lives, you son of a bitch!
Oh, was that Super Mario Galaxy's coming? Let's take away all your lives down to 5.
Pretty much.
Fuck you.
That's pretty much every 3D Mario game.
Except Sunshine for some reason.
And honestly,
No,
because
Sunshine-
Odyssey didn't
Sunshine-
have any lives.
Sunshine did that too.
No, it carried your lives over. Of all the games, that one did.
And Odyssey, because it didn't have lives.
Yep, Odyssey didn't have them. Galaxy 2 at least had a workaround. Was between files, which is really fucking weird, but...
Some of the 2D games I know carried it. I think, I know New Super Mario Bros. 2 carried it because that was one of the things that you get for completion.
Okay, yeah, all the new Super Mario Bros. Games carry them over. I forgot about that, because all the other 2D ones did. All the older 2D ones did not.
I don't remember if New Super Mario Bros. Did, but I know everything afterwards, I think, did.
I think the original New Super Mario Bros. Did. So I know Mario World didn't. And then again, that was the first 2D Mario game that actually had save files.
Yeah.
Then again, that's Mario. We're talking Metroid, but yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot of advances help this series progress forward. So yep, that's all for Metroid 2. So, yep, you guys are better off playing the remake just like the first game, but at least this one's tolerable, so if you care to look back at the old history, it's... If you really could tolerate this, then maybe you'd want to give original Metroid a shot, but I still don't recommend it.
Yeah.
There we go! Another Metroid game done! So now we basically are opening ourselves up to doing the remake when we want to do it.
Yeah, so definitely more of a guide game than just sitting around doing it on your own.
Yeah. Well, I'd say the first one's definitely more of a guide game. The second
yeah.
one, it can be a little bit of a guide game if need be, but honestly, it's definitely a little bit easier to stomach than...
Okay.
It's more if you want to find all the. It's more if you want to find all the upgrades. Which some of them are weird because there's a couple you have to walk through walls through. So it's still not.
Okay, yeah. Okay, well you put it that way. There's going to be some things introduced in the next game that are going to make exploring much easier.
Oh yeah, they have all power up designed for that purpose.
A power up that I always wonder why the fuck they never brought back. That one power up always bugs me because it's like it sounds useful. They never bring it back again.
You have another one that basically does the same thing. Okay, I'm just gonna blow up everything in the fucking room. I'll find something.
They have that in the same game too, which is hilarious.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think that's a digression. I think next time we'll be running our head through Super Metroid. Whoever's going to be the one to play it first.
I imagine that'd probably be you, because I didn't mind playing through a long time ago.
Then I guess it will be me running through Super Metroid. So...
But Samus Returns probably come first.
Yeah, well, I will do the remake first, yeah. Just to show off what the remake does before getting this Super Metroid, so... Next time for the Metroid channel, I'll do the remake for 2.
Yay!
Be spoiled by all the modern features before going back to Super Metroid. Jokes aside, though,
the counter feature
the future of Metroid, with the exception of Other M, is looking pretty good.
Oh yeah, we have Other M too.
So, see you guys then!
Oh, Other M's gonna be next, guys.
I'd rather just do it just so I can get out of the way.
There you go, confirm it!